morning, teacher. How are you? Hello. Today I will talk about stress. I will talk about the benefit and the disadvantage of stress, the cause effect, the symptoms, and the way to manage stress, the type of stress too. So to begin at first, I want to talk about the definition of stress. Stress, as a word meaning, is the body's natural defense against predators and dangers. It flushes the body with hormones to prepare system to evade or confront danger. This is known as the fight or flight mechanism. When we are faced with a challenge, part of our response is physical. The body activates reserves to protect us by preparing us there either to stay and to fight or to get away as fast as possible. The body produces large quantity of the chemicals cortisol, adrenaline, and noradrenaline produced by a glandular hormone. So, this trigger increased heart rate, heightened muscle, sweating, and alertness. All these factors improve the ability to respond to a hazardous or challenging situation. Factors of the environment that trigger this reaction are called stressors. The body challenge in the following ways during stress are blood pressure and pulse rate rise, breathing is faster, the digestive system slows down, the immune activity decrease, the muscles become tense, and heightened state of alertness prevent sleep. So to go to sleep. Prevent this. How we react to difficult situation will affect how stress affects us and affects our health and us. A person who feels they do not have enough resources to cope with will be more likely to have a stronger reaction and one that can trigger health problems affect in a minus level way. So, in other words, stressors affect individuals in different ways depending on how person assimilate the situation in which they are. Okay, so now we will talk about types of effect or types of stress. Sorry. The American Physical Association, named APA, recognizes two different types of stress that are most commonly studied. So, the first common stress that is studied by the APA is the acute stress. This is a type of stress in short term and is the most common way that stress occurs. Acute stress was often caused by thinking about the pressures of events that have recently occurred or upcoming demands in the near future. Short-term effects include tension, headache, and upset stomach, as well as moderate amount of distress. The another type of stress that APA said are the chronic stress. The chronic stress is most harmful type of stress and rinse away over a long period. Ongoing poverty, a dysfunctional family, or unhappy marriage can cause chronic stress. Sometimes it can be caused by traumatic experience in early life. Chronic stress can continue unnoticed on a people to become used to it, unlike acute stress that is new and often has immediate solution. So the difference between acute stress and chronic stress is that acute stress are like in a short time and can have a fast solution, but chronic stress affect deeper in us, in our health. There are long-term time, and their solution need more time than acute stress solution. Okay, now I will talk about the symptom of stress. This information is for your knowledge because I had a purpose that by this information you know if you are stressed or not. Okay, so put me attention, please. Symptom of stress: by having a bad disturbing sleep, by having depression symptoms, by feel physical illness, headache, by feeling tiredness, absence of desire to do anything, reduced attention or concentration that make it difficult to study or work. Take note of this, okay? This is important. Memory problems and slower think process, impossibility to relax. Another thing is to forget all things. Another is to forget your business troubles, or have access of interest to people who surround you, even best friends, relatives or close ones. Constantly arousing desire to try to cry, cheerfulness that sometimes turns to suffering, melancholy, uncontrolled food intake, reduced appetite. However, sometimes people start eating too much, uncomfortable their food intake. There are often nervous tics and obsessive habits, such as person bites the lips, nails, and so on. Person often show mistrust to everything and everyone. So, in other words, symptoms of stress is like a normal action that pass in your body. So, for example, have anxiety, to feel depressed, to have nervous tics, to have normalities in your body that you know that they are not correct, that there are a bad thing that pass in your body. So, to continue, I will talk about cause and effect of stress. Some people feel stressed by any reason, but I want to take the general reason that produce stress or causes of stress and the effect of the stress. So, in cause, generally, some people feel stresses when they see physical violence. They cannot tolerate people fighting with one another. Another thing is employment is the main reason for stress because you know you don't have money to sustain to buy the thing that you need, and you are worried by looking the way in which you can get all the things that you need. Okay, so if you are a colleague or an addicted to drugs, there are strong chances for you to become stressed and tense. When you lose someone very close, you are in great distress. When you're unable to compromise with the members of your family, you become stressed as you are entangled into several family related problems. At times, you may feel that your marriage is becoming a stressful cause to spend time with one another. This may end up in a serious risk in form of a divorce. Lack of job and financial instability. This is like the major causes of stress in all the world because people are worried because economic status are unstable, and they are looking the ways that can maintain in a medium or in high level, but they cannot, and by these things people worry and get stressed. Okay, And another, it can be when you are arranged for your necessities, you will never feel at ease. In other words, is when you need to get your necessities and you cannot get it. This is the way that stress get in your body and affect us. Okay, so to continue, we will talk about the common stress effects that pass generally in work. The effect that stress produces in our body is depression, high blood pressure, arrhythmia. The arrhythmia is abdominal heartbeat, hardening of the articles or osteosclerosis, hair disease, hair attacks, hair burns, ulcers, irritable bowel syndrome, upset stomach, cramps, constipations, and diarrhea. Weight gain or loss. It depends on people. Change in sex drive, fertility problems, flare-up of asthma or arthritis, skin problems such as acne, and you know, all we are not the same. So everyone responds to stress in a different way. And I say this because we can assimilate stress as a good or as a bad. It depends on how we interpret the stress. But for me, by stressing, you will not resolve anything. For me, the way that I recommend you is to don't get stressed, because if you get stressed, you have alteration in your body, and for someone's it can be an advantage, for someone's can be a disadvantage. For me, for example, being stressed is an advantage, because if I feel stressed, I feel that I need to make the things that provoke stress in me, and by this way I feel that I make better these things. For other people, being stressed complicate the situation, because by having a stress problem they don't make the thing at the correct way. For me, stress helped me, but this is my case, but your case I don't know. So to continue, I will talk about the ways of dealing with stress. There are two, as the book says, the two type of way of dealing with stress. They are the less effective and the more ineffective. The less effective is to going onto the internet when you are stressed, or watching TV, go to sleep, reading a book, listening music. But the effective method can be of dealing with stress are talking to others, facing your problem, setting realistic goals. It's important. Make your goals real. Taking action, thinking like you are good and you are accepting the shame. Make exercise regularly, doing activities you enjoy. So in conclusion, for me, if you want like a recommendation, if you are searching a way to don't get stressed, it's nice. So you can use the method that I said before. So take the recommendation depending in your case. As I am telling before, stress affect in different ways in people's, depending on the people that stress is affecting. So thank you for the attention, teacher. Thank you.